Hey guys, it's your girl Kash, and this is the Business of Pleasure podcast. And this one right here, y'all, it's gonna get a little steamy. We're gonna get into a little bit of touch because it's Pro Touch Month, y'all. It is Pro Touch Month. That means you need to grab a body and touch somebody with consent. With consent, because we don't do touch without consent, right? You feeling it? You felt that? Did you feel that?
I felt. That's why I had to speak. I'm sorry.
And I know that you guys are wanting to learn more about how to give the right touches. So of course we're going to bring the right people on here to give you some tips and tricks and things that might make that little touch a little more sensational. Mm-hmm. So we're going to kick straight into it because I want to get into the conversation that we're going to have today. Y'all already know the drill about what we do in the Business of Pleasure. We're talking about pleasure. We talk about wellness. And in this specific topic, I think we might end up toggling a little bit of both. Okay. So our guest today, well, I want to say I'm always for people who go into the industry of pleasure and people who go into it in intentional ways. And everybody knows that massage is like one of the most simplest ways to make people feel, decompressed and relaxed and whatnot. So I had to bring Mama Dee through because Mama Dee be putting them hands on them bodies.
I do a little something.
A little something. And so I know that you go by an erotic masseuse.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what that is and
Absolutely.
How did you arrive there?
So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Just happy to be here. So energy. Tantra erotic is a double entendre, but Tantra originates from the Hindu. Mm-hmm. And if you know anything about it, if you don't, just go do a little read up on it. And it has a little less to do with religion than more spirituality. So it's everything spiritual that has to do with connection, your mental, the chakras, all that stony stuff that people talk about. It has its envelopments and it has its ties, but Tantra is about reaching in internally and finding ways to connect with people, not just through intercourse, through actually penetration, finding ways to connect with people through breath, sound, music, kissing. We'll get into all that, I'm sure, because I'm kind of distracted by all the fun things I see. But yeah, in a nutshell, Tantra eroticism is a culture, but Tantra erotic massages are, they can go as simple as standard deep tissue, and they can go anywhere from Nuru, which people have heard of, and that gets a little deep with the oils and laying up in the water-based solutions and getting nude. I get into this because I want people to understand that it has nothing to do with that over hypersexualized mentality. You're really diving into what it's like to lay with someone and really connect with someone, but also get that relief and that therapy you need, that physical therapy you need.
And you know what I love about tantric touch, right? Y'all know that your girl is a sensualist, right? And I pride myself in saying that because I prioritize my intimate experiences, period, or even just with myself, with my partner, or partners when we being a little nasty, and rooted in what sensory experience is coming out of it. And touch is one of those senses that I think, honestly, because people are so commonly stimulating their sense of touch, I think it gets underestimated how impactful it can be. And I like to play with both activation of touch and deprivation of it as well, right? Because I believe Tantric has so many kinetic principles to it where you kind of can share energy, space. Like you said, breathing, like being able to kind of get in sync with our breathing, being able to exchange that energy.
Transfer of breath, all of that. Like some of the oddest things that people would consider what would be like foreplay for a lot of people is necessary in the tantric experience because it's a dial-up experience. Like I got into this because when I was younger, let's be real, I was a little more of a hypersexual individual. I was young and I didn't value being touched myself.
Really? What made you not value it though?
Childhood trauma, girl. We can get into
it.
Like,
hello. You want to go to the basket of Pandora's boxes?
And that's what all of this, really, if you want to get into it, the lifestyle, a lot of that stems from that. But if you're strong enough and mentally strong enough to really go and do the work, you can figure out where your strengths lie in that and not
reprogramming your associations with it. I'm so happy you said that because a little bit later, I did have a portion that I wanted to speak about in touch after trauma, right? And just for the sake of things, I'm a clinical sexologist. Everybody watching the podcast knows that piece. But I would say that it's one of the largest demographics of people that I end up working with is people who have experienced traumas, especially ones that are sexual or involve physical violence or touch. So I also want us later to talk a little bit about that because I want to help give them some pathways back to touch. So I'm curious about what were yours. And what I think people, why I say people take for granted, because when you think about touch, our fingertips, right, are constantly coming into contact with different objects, surfaces, things. It's always being like, this is the one sensory that never gets a break if you think about it a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
And the same with our feet. We're walking on them. Our feet is always getting input and by some sort of pressure, something, anytime we're walking, moving. And so because, and then there are other parts of the body that don't get touched a lot, right? And that's kind of where
areas. Yes,
yeah, that's where I want to kind of go into there, because one of the things that you said, foreplay, I think about erogenous zones, right? And how many people are unaware of some of the more unconventional zones that can be erogenous.
Yes. Let's go there.
Let's talk about, as you've been doing your work, right? First of all, what are some of the tricky erogenous zones that people, you see reactions out of people that surprises them when they're like, I didn't think I would like being touched there.
So, okay, we could start with a pristine, my favorite client of mine. He was one of my first, and 3.5 years to this day, he's still someone that'll call me to come down or fly out and see him, because when I met him, he had just gotten a massive surgery.
Okay.
And so he hadn't been touched by a woman in maybe 5 or 6 years. And I'm the first since that to have been able to have that connection with him. So on that lane, it's interesting because at an early half of this career that I chose, I had to decide how to generate a filter of some sort, or how to decide, okay, I'm going to service specifically clients who have handicaps or who I know are deprived of touch and an intimacy on a certain level. And I feed on that. So there's that. And then there's the other lane where, you kind of do it because it's for your own self. And there's parts of that are tied to it, but I'm not too personally tied to it. I really have a strong connection with making other people feel things that they have never felt, or that they think they felt until they felt it with me.
Right. Or they experience it differently, because you never know what's going to come out of you. I'll never forget, right? The first time, not even just on myself, but with my partner, you would think that people at their big age know everything that they like and all of the good things, but you'll also find that most people that you come across will not have had a partner who was safe enough to explore certain types of touches beyond, right? Or especially if it's in a place that has stigmas attached to it or any of those type of things, we won't get it even worse, right? But I want to talk about men real quick, right, before I go on to the other end, because I think the touch experience is very different, because the average man intimately isn't touched in a lot of regions outside of genitals, maybe nipples, genitals, maybe you get their neck licked, but that usually be the full service beyond that. Exactly. So when you I know you mentioned your favorite client, when you're working through your touch experience with a client, and obviously that's something that may not include genitals, right? But it can still drive up sensation.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the hot spots.
One thing I pride myself on is I make people feel very comfortable. I think that just comes with a lot of the life that I've lived, that I know how to make people feel very comfortable. And in a sexual environment, or what's in a man's mind, I'm walking into a room, a woman's about to massage me fully naked, I know what they're thinking already when they come and lay down on a table. So I have to control the speed and the energy of the entire environment. That's why touch goes outside of just the room that I'm in with that person. It's what I've done the day before, throughout, who I'm interacting with, how I'm interacting, so I can exchange that with them. And then when you get past that point with them, it kind of makes it a little easier to communicate. I'm a communicator, so naturally if I'm whispering or I'm talking to them, is this okay, or do you have any areas of no-go, do you have, you have to make them
kind of take a moment to kind of negotiate their session,
just like if you went to a massage envy and they did a prerequisite evaluation. I ask, but I find a subtle, comfortable way for it to seem like you're sitting down and having an intimate session with a young lady. Is this good? Is this too much? It gives them a sense of control, but no, I'm in control. It's really me.
Okay. I found that a lot of men are surprised with how sensitive areas like the crevices of the arms can be, behind the knees.
Or what areas will turn them on?
Tickle
Like
zones, right? I actually I got a little sick fetish. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love taking your tickle zone
Yeah,
and
yeah,
turning
yeah.
it into something else. I'm going.
Tell me to stop. I'm gonna keep
You know
going.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna mess with it, because I think people don't realize that the sensitivity of a tickle zone, when touched right, can absolutely become an arousal zone.
Tease and foreplay and all, it's absolutely necessary.
It
That's
is.
that's a huge part of my job. Is how you can get an hour and a half session. I'm not. How do you think I can do what I can do?
Right.
And I have to take my time. There's tease. There's the tantric or euphoric kind of aspect to it. So it all plays. Absolutely. It's necessary.
What's something that you think that you do in the environment, right? That you're going to be actually doing a service to kind of create that space of comfort. So, you go to certain places. First of all, let me ask this first. Let me back up. Do you travel to do it, or do they come to you?
Absolutely. I'm a traveling masseuse, but okay. I do in-call and out-call, but I got my start doing and working primarily like private and house parties.
Okay.
So I was in the LS lifestyle scene for
a little while, going to those
spaces. And would work those parties, and then I would kind of go word of mouth there. If I got booked out of the city, or if I was traveling, like it went from there to like mansion parties, and then like things private
like that.
So you go from there, but then I established my own lane as far as private, like individual clients. So you have your service provider sites, they're legal and they're safe, and it's a safe way for me to vet my own clients on a more consistent basis. And I love it because I get clients who are serious. They're more established male professionals. I've got couples. Like, it's great, but you have to move a certain way.
You do absolutely
you have to move a certain way.
And one of the things I'll say, this is right, because okay, for anybody who's watching who's a little bit more on the vanilla side, you guys know that we talk about both sides of the fence. And in these lifestyle spaces, what you're dealing with is a lot of people who are in the swing lifestyle, potentially kink or BDSM lifestyle. And so in these spaces, I've been to 1,001. Sometimes the space in which those services are being done is private, but sometimes you're setting up in a more open area.
Exhibitionist type of
vibe. Type of vibe. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, since you brought that up, and I think it's important for people to think, if you're in an open space, it can sometimes be a little difficult to tune out, right? The environment, because some people, you know what I mean.
I absolutely know what you mean. I think the reason I'm shrugging my face is because I don't. I think that's what makes me just very for this, is that I've never, even since high school, and like my closest friends will tell you, like, you've always been a very like a little risque, a little more.
But do you think the client have you ever had a situation where a client is tense and you can tell that they're not fully allowing themselves to experience it because of the environment?
I could say yes on an occasion, but even then, I've broken down barriers, and
that's what we need. Give me the goods, girl. Give me the goods.
So if I have a friend of mine who I know is at the party, I'll use them as a doll. Like I'll warm up myself. That's a perfect example. I don't need someone to give off the energy that I'm trying to give. I could show you on this couch and stretch, move, accentuate and that'll stop and turn heads. They're like, what she doing over there? You doing massages? Something like. You interested? Like, and it draws people in. I've had people I just want to watch. I just love watching. I don't want to massage. You ain't got to touch me. I'm not into that.
Okay.
And people love that because they feel like, I guess you could say it's kind of like porn maybe for some people.
I think that what I would say from my end, that a person who's observing erotic touch happening to someone, I don't know if I would place it in the necessarily pornographic category, because for some people it can actually be sensory calming.
Yes.
And so there are a lot of people who are not comfortable with touch but like to watch touch. And so it can kind of
the answer to your question is that by that point somebody is like, well, I don't care who watching, put me on the table.
Okay.
I just have not had that experience. Like, I feel like if you carry it in a slow, and like, I'm trying to take my time. I'm not trying to just slap somebody on this table like they're meat.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the services, is to treat your body like it's something, because you're not going to get that treatment, if we're being honest. If that's why it's intriguing to you, because you're not getting this treatment at home.
9 times out of 10, the average person isn't. And honestly, guys, that's a problem y'all need to work on, because touch should be in the home a little bit more. And I think it's again underestimated. And you know what? If I'm being fair, because I don't never BS y'all. Look, because I definitely get rubbed down more than he gets rubbed down.
Good.
Right? But when I rub him down, I rub
Tell
him
me
down.
that energy and that whole house don't
First
shift.
of all, it don't even start with the rub down. I might take them in the shower and start
That's
with
what
exfoliating them from head to toe.
Thank you. I gotta get them clean.
I'm under the balls with the
Lather.
exfoliant. Okay, we in there like this. After we get the lathering going, we gonna make sure they moisturize.
He was ready before you laid them on
all
the
of that,
table.
right? Before we get anywhere else, the body's gonna, because you know, also the heat of the shower will help release some tension, kind of get the steam, get some calming,
all of that.
Yeah, so I will say that I don't do it all the time, but when I do it, I be using my whole body on that.
That's what I try to tell people.
You know?
I've had that question plenty where they're like, aren't you exhausted? Like, I've worked 7-hour parties where they're like, you still absolutely exhausted.
Do you only use your hands though, or do you use
No,
your
I
body?
use my entire body.
Well,
I have to slide. I tell people, you see those videos on YouTube with the men, they like lifting the women up. I could get strong enough to do all that, but that takes away from the essence of what I'm doing.
what you're doing.
I'm laying up. I'm titties on your
Yes,
thigh.
because the pressure can.
I'm rubbing my face in your gooch and yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're getting in the nitty gritty.
Let's go to the Gucci store.
Yeah, we're getting in the gooch.
Okay.
We're getting in the gooch. Yeah.
Okay. So let me
Freely.
ask you. So technically, well, that's porn. I ain't gonna lie. That might be a little.
That's
now,
why
when
I
it gets to
said.
that part of the massage,
But you gotta.
they definitely not watching
Danger
for
from
relaxation.
Environment though, you can't do that
They is-
everywhere.
Once you got to the Gucci
Y'all
store,
not gonna see me holding no.
they trying to see, is her tongue gonna pop out? Like, I'm not gonna
That's what
lie.
I want them to think.
And I'm the worst because I'll be like real far, but I want.
She gonna do it. She gonna do it. She gonna do it.
I want to get in that
And then
asshole.
just when you think I'm not, I'm swoop right back
You
up.
know what's so funny? Because one of my favorite things to do when I'm massaging my man, when I come up that thigh,
You gotta
to make
breathe on the
that
set.
I like to make sure he passed the balls up, but I don't want to touch his balls, touch him yet. I like to tease him, so it's like
Yep.
a little. He be.
Yep.
I'll be like, relax.
That's all.
Okay.
You get hit him with a little right up the leg,
Right up the. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I don't gotta teach you.
Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I come under the balls with a little cool. Cool air. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hot down there. I know it's hot.
That sucking on the ice trick is not for the weary.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. And you know what's so funny?
Peppermint.
I think that see what you just said. We sucking on the ice. You
Yeah.
introduced something I wanted to go into. So you know
Yes,
what, guys?
let's do it.
We came through our first segment, which is really that power in the presence. You can see the presence this one walks with. She got power in it for sure. Okay.
Thank you.
But I want to shift to adult edutainment. Okay. Now this is the segment, y'all, where we get, a little bit more mature in conversation and talking about things that are a little bit more deep. And in this conversation, it's going to be very sensual, but I like to make sure that you guys are being educated while you're being entertained. So the focus here is going to be really to kind of share things that can help enhance people's experiences, but also that might make them want to have an experience potentially book you, anything like that as well. And then I'll also talk about some of the products that we have that can feed into those experiences because we add some layers. So that being said, temperature, right? So temperature play, for those who are unfamiliar, is definitely a type of play, a sensation type of play that kind of deals in the activation or deprivation of certain senses. So ice can be numbing as well, in one way. It can also be a sensation that passed by, but heat can be decompressing. It could be warming, like an icy hot patch, right? So playing with temperatures or varying the temperature experience during a touch can absolutely take what felt regular, just a regular old hand massage, and turn it into a whole nother thing.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to that type of play, how do you incorporate sensations outside of just touch, like elements of heat, elements of cool, elements of things like that?
So typically I don't bring out the hot stones, the wax stuff until you're getting upwards in like the second, third tier services, because that's where I'm fully nude. Like it starts off with kind of like you're gradually 1 piece, 2 piece, fully nude. Once we're at a point where I'm fully nude, then we can start talking about adding on those special effects, because they require a little bit more time, a little more delicacy. We have to have a conversation about your body type. Like if I'm playing with hot wax, I need to know that there's some forms you might gotta sign. Let's be real.
If you true to this, you know that wax comes in ranges.
Come on now.
Every candle doesn't burn also at the same temperature.
And then people
so
come saying they want one
stuff.
thing, and naturally you might not be ready for that other thing, that thing you're getting.
Well, you know what? I brought a little temperature. Can I pull out a little temperature?
Please.
I did. I brought out a little something.
What you got?
I try to heat it before we start so that it has a little heat on it. But this right here And it could be warmer, but it was sitting there for a little
that.
bit. But you can touch it. It got a little warmth to it.
Oh,
it's a light
love
warm,
this.
right? So when you fully first activate it, you kind of run it in some hot water for like 5 minutes. I always say boil the water and put it in there. And as it starts to cool, it will start to, the texture will get a little harder. So it'll start completely watery, like, you know, fluid. And then the texture will start to
gradually
vary.
harden,
Which honestly, because it's bees inside of it, as long as you're keeping it in motion, especially with the heat of the body, I find that actually gives it a different texture for some people, and it really is good for those hard spots.
This is a great, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was just going to say, talking about your product, and this is quality, guys. Quality product right here, because you're talking about the beading and the seeding in there, and that's the type of stuff holistically that you want pressing into your body, those stones that, so when people are like, well, are you getting freaked on or are you getting a massage, and it's like, no, you're getting both, because you're getting what you need.
And I find that like in some of my hardest spots, if I even play it, especially while it's freshly hot, because once you first heat it, I want to say you got about 30 minutes countdown. So it'll be really hot, about 10 minutes in, it'll drop to about there, and then about another 10 minutes, it'll completely.
And would you say put in a little water bowl? Microwave
if you,
10,
as long
seconds.
as you put the, I always say to people, heat the water for a couple of minutes. Like you want it to be almost boiling hot, and then just sit it in the water for like a minute or two, and
let it soften.
It loosens everything back
like
up.
Those reusable ice packs.
Exactly. Except this one is for heat, right?
That's genius.
So I personally like using things like this to introduce people before they get into other heat that can be a little bit more intense.
Very much level
because
one.
People, and just letting them feel, or even just sitting it in a certain spot. Can I? You mind if I come?
Not at all. Please.
With your hand. You don't have to move. I'm gonna come to you a little bit. So even like I like to tell people like just sitting it in a spot and applying that pressure. You see how her eyes closed? That's what I love. I love a sensualist. Let me tell y'all. So
take it in.
I always say this is one of our like products that, you know, technically it's just a massage thing, but baby, let me also tell you, when you on that period.
I was just about to say that. Like in my head, I'm like, she don't know I'm gonna use that for that monthly.
Put that bad boy inside of there and just let it do what it do.
That's genius.
Or I do the same thing with my lower back pain. I like just sit it there.
I can't relate. Let's go back to the front.
If you like a little heat, but if you wanted to use it for arousal, right?
That's amazing.
Over the fupa area, you can put the heat right above where the clit is and stuff like that. You can even, you know, if you clean it with a toy cleaner, kind of run it past the actual full vulva area.
That's a perfect tool for if you're getting, you know, those,
them hips and all those things. So I like this, but I also got a little something here. This one is called Warm Me Up.
Warm Me Up.
Ooh,
warm me up. That's what it's called. Just sit right
that
there.
one. I like that.
Oh, it's warming me up, actually.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful.
I'm
gonna have to be a little careful, right? But I'm definitely a temperature play. But you saw me earlier grab this one. I want your professional opinion. These are our we have a massage oil trio. Okay. And I know this is a little bottle and it seems like nothing, but when I tell you a super tiny amount.
You know how to make it stretch.
It comes with 3, right? It's soy-based, it's vegan. So there's no ingredient in it that can be harmful for most people unless you have an allergy to soy. That's the only thing you might be wary of, but they're also edible.
Oh.
Yeah. This one right here is the succulent strawberry. Okay. We have a watermelon one, and then there's a vanilla flavor that ends up in the trio. So what it is that the flavor, I would say the flavor base is not super sweet because we don't put sugars and stuff like that because you don't want that stuff on your skin and your body anyway. And it's going to change the consistency of the oil to something sticky. But it's basically, we made the formula so that it's safe, that if you lick after you rub, it's safe for ingestion. And you're going to get a light hint, but you'll absolutely smell it. So what I want to ask, you know what? You always rubbing people.
I'm like,
can I rub your hand?
I was going to say, please.
Let me get closer.
How time somebody to take care of Mama Dee, please.
Yes. So with this one right here, I'm going to take a tiny drop.
I can already tell that the texture is amazing. It's
a very good oil. And I'm not even just saying that because I'm with like the company. Like we use these at home regularly.
Nice.
So
we'll take 3.
Yes.
We'll take 3. That's lovely. Yeah.
So when you use it, it's gonna be a good moisture. You can see the oil on her and whatnot. But also, you smell it?
I like that it gives you a genuine fresh strawberry.
Yes.
It's not that literally like
it's a real
artificial, very fresh.
because we actually pull the flavors from when we use it for like even our lubes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These things are not like artificial. We extract these things from the actual plants, things like that. Yeah, so
dope.
that's one of the things that I really love when it comes to like adding something, because you know, if you want to do something erotic, or you said you was at the Gucci spot, if you have that down there by the Gucci spot, you might be
definitely helps.
I might be down. About it.
Not say it like that, but yes, that's perfect for that area. Yeah, because
I'm being honest with y'all guys. This is my first of all, y'all know I don't gatekeep. Y'all know that I give a little
song,
like a little Hoovervac action, right? So with that right there, I'm absolutely, this is my favorite hand job, giving head job accessory, because you know what? Because this is oil, it's going to keep
I was gonna
gliding.
say, I know you said it was edible, but you gotta calm down.
Oh baby, no, we eating breakfast, lunch, and we're eating.
We're eating.
We're eating. And you know what I tell people though, when it's like, if it's for the vaginal area, I wouldn't put it in.
I was gonna ask,
but like external vagina is completely safe. There's nothing in it that's unharmful to the area. But I always tell people, play the outer region. So if you give it a nice, you know how people don't massage the lips. And you rub that yoni.
Yeah, because you definitely, and I alternate between oils depending on who I'm massaging. You change it up. You do.
Yes, you want to do different things. And so this is like my favorite one from when I use it sometimes if I just want to smell the fragrance on my body coming out the water.
Want to be a little cute. Yeah.
But it's like my favorite one for like partnered experiences with touch, because I have my certain things that I use for just touching me or rubbing myself or whatever, versus what I would use with a person.
I like that.
We ain't gonna waste this taste now. But
I like that. Yeah.
I have two more things I want to talk about there before we go a little further, and one of them is for you to take. So this right here is Get in Touch.
Wait, my question is, do I need that with somebody?
No, you don't.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, you don't. But the product is called Get in Touch.
Get in Touch.
Very intentional, because it attaches to where?
The finger.
So where are we gonna place that?
Where
we gonna give that touch, right? We're gonna go to the kitty, we're gonna go to the nipples, but also I like it for any kind of passing by. If a person wants, like, just to give a different sensation,
definitely
to the stroke of your fingers, things like that, kind of running.
It gives claw, but on a rubbery scale. I love that.
So it has 20 different vibration patterns.
Girl, don't play with me. Is it charged?
Yeah, I'm about to play.
I'll give you a review tonight. Don't play with me.
You want to go with me tonight? Girl, you better
be careful. We are booked. Don't look at me
don't look at me for more than 3 seconds, because I touch vagina.
Let me see this.
Let me look at this toy.
This one here.
Yes. So it is a very nice, intense little point there. Yes, you a little look.
Rose who?
Yeah. And it's so precision
this
point.
Is Jack. You know how this is Jack.
I'm telling you something. You know how when you are trying to lock in on that spot, that precision point. When I tell you that point be so.
Because can't nobody DJ like me. Are you
feel me? Give me the Guitar Hero. You know, I'll be on my clip like this.
You better.
Just beat it. No, seriously.
No, get this for me.
It's definitely one of my favorite ones for stuff like that. Yeah, girl. But my favorite one that I think that you can incorporate into your sessions, right?
Tell me.
It's right there on the table. I want you to open that box. It's brand new. I'm going to burst. Let me open the seams on the side for you. This one's called Make Me Over. This one called Make Me Over.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, it's a part of one of the toys that we designed to be discreet, right? So we didn't want it to look like a toy.
That's perfect.
And that's important, especially if you got them nosy kids that be all in your business. This is one of those things that you could literally sit on your dresser, your kid would never know what it is. So I want you to unbox it. I want you to unbox
like an Alexa.
Yes. It looks like it's designed to look like a makeup compact.
Oh,
right?
This is nice. Okay, wait.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you how to use it. We're gonna give you the tutorial. Don't worry. So that's your charger.
Okay.
You plug that into. If you turn the base to you around, one more turn. Hold on.
Oh, the back.
Yep. The back of that has the charger input, so you know where to charge it. Yes. You can literally leave it, in there, and then when you sit the toy in it. So now you open it up. There should be a little white piece of paper there you could remove. Yeah, look at you. Get into her. Get into herself. Get into herself. It's a mirror inside. There's a mirror inside.
This looks like
yeah, it looks like a compact.
Where?
Except you're powdering pussy.
I don't know where to start.
Yes, but you went straight to the right use. So the base is that's just the charging base. It also tell people like if they like to look at themselves or see the girl, they can use
the voyeur
that for
aspect from the freak.
It's meant so that when somebody sees it, they think that it's just like a mirror, sort of whatever.
Yeah,
so let's put the compact piece down. No, keep that in your hand. Keep that one in your hand and put the case down for 1 second. Okay. And so you're gonna put that on your fingers. It's obviously hand attached to your hand. Mm-hmm. So for massage.
Oh yeah.
Right now, those buttons on the top. Press the plus button and hold it for 3 seconds. And it should turn it on.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the low setting. So you can literally add...
Which is honestly perfect. I would never want more than this for my clients.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
It's what I like about it is that it's not intimidating. And so for some people... certain products, certain things can be intimidating, especially if they're coming back from a trauma or anything and they're still working their way back. But it's gentle enough. It's not intimidating. It's a nice, soft sort of vibration that you can kind of go through with it. I found that it's perfect for them neck kinks, girl.
Yeah, you got the...
You can get
real in the creases with it.
And if you don't have a person, right, you can use it for your own touch. You can kind of help decompress yourself. I use it even on, rubbing my own lower back, rubbing my own lower, wherever I'm in pain. So that's like the massage element. But obviously, it's supposed to be also for the girl. I want you to press the plus 2 times to go up to high.
You're dangerous all the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I want you to take it in the fupa area, not all the way down, but right above, and press. Can you feel that?
Do you feel that?
Not over there. Not you start to feel it over there. It's noise and it's wide. So
I know
when you do
my
get to
thoughts started racing. You get the
you can get everything. You
feel too comfortable
you
now.
Can get
Wait.
Because your rings.
Slow down. Wait, we ain't home. Wait a minute.
So press and hold off and on, and that's to make sure that's to make sure you don't accidentally cut it off or anything like that. But
I'd be passed out by now.
I like it for nipples.
I love that. Yeah, that'll probably.
Can I give you a whole tip though?
Please.
Because I give pro tips, but sometimes they whole tips. If you hold that bad boy here while you doing something here,
genius,
and keep it on your throat
and
while
loosen that up, the muscles.
And it's also going whoever your mouth is touching will feel the vibration through your throat up on them.
Dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you play on both sides.
Absolutely.
But if there's a penis back there, he's going to feel the vibrator on your throat. Yeah. And it kind of soothes it, y'all. You know what? I'll be trying to look out for my girls. You know how, the gag, some situation could be a thing for you guys. So honestly, if you take it and you apply it there, the vibration will actually...
Great training.
Exactly. It will help desensitize that uncomfortable feeling and help you feel a little bit more relaxed while you... doing those types of things, but also you'll feel the vibration on the tip of a tongue. So even if you're flicking it, I'll be taking my chokers and my collars.
This one for home. I can't bring this one out. Don't bring this one out. I don't care what it looked like. Okay.
You said you're not letting them get
that. You put that one on the counter.
So that right there is your multi-purpose vibe that I felt like would be perfect for you. And I would tell you can use it with your oil, like your massage oils and stuff like that to make it glide as girl. What are we talking about? Because why not? Yeah. So I always share that one because. And this is where I wanted to talk about a little bit about touch for trauma a little bit is because, one, touch with hands alone can be uncomfortable for someone who's experienced certain types of traumas, right?
Right.
And so one of the things that I do with my clients to help them ease themselves into comfort is putting a layer between the hand and the body, right? So using something like that could allow you to put it on your hand, but because they're feeling an object and not actually a hand, the mind kind of gets
for sure
a little tricked into not thinking about.
That's why I love my hot stones. Body. They're so classic, but it's so perfect because in my client's head, they think they're getting like this, it's an esteem. It's like, no, I really just need another reason to loosen you up for a second.
A little bit. But it happens to work for the both of us. It helps you and it helps me.
Absolutely.
And I don't recommend to people who have experienced certain, traumas or whatever the case is to like come in kicking in the door with something like this one right here, right?
That's overwhelming.
Now,
What
hold
is
on.
that? No.
Because we talk about touch, right?
Oh, no. I can handle
we talk about touch.
I'm a big girl.
Now, this one right here. This one right here. Now, I always give y'all a dual purpose use. This is actually not the worst product for a newbie to a degree, because this is one of those things that even if you don't like it here, it's useful on the whole body. A wand is going to do good on the whole body. It's on low right now. So you want to
That's low.
Hold the head of it. But in order to help y'all see this,
Woo.
extra help. Okay, y'all with me?
That's the low.
This is low, and I want y'all to see in the water. That's low. You see the water? Just get a little low vibration going. Cool. Nothing too crazy, but she still. She squirted. She squirted. She squirted a little something.
Hello.
We're gonna go up. We're gonna go up to mid. We on middle. We on level 2.
Oh my.
You see the water starting to jump a little more in there. Starting to climb out, trying to wet me up. Hold on now.
That is a beautiful
Slow down.
wine.
We're gonna go high. And then I'm gonna get a little
Look
distance.
at that thing go.
I'm gonna get a little distance because that one right there could be a little. It's jumping out.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay. Even when I let it go, that residual vibration. So that's the power that this one can have, right?
Oh yeah.
Then we got patterns.
That thing turning me on.
I ain't even gonna say nothing.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna let it do its own demo. I ain't even saying nothing. Y'all just watch.
I should call him.
Just watch. You ain't gonna see nothing else. Just watch what it do.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. You jumping at me, boo. I'm holding you away, but you still jumping on me. Yeah, I'm gonna end up real wet by the end. Well,
Amen.
no pun intended, but this is the Business of Pleasure podcast.
Amen. Yes.
Where we put the sexy and the success and the fun in funds. Okay, and now the last one, this right here is gonna feel like you got 3 people having sex with you, because it changes.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for my couple sessions. Yes.
Yeah. So this wand right here, go back to low. It also has a memory setting. So whatever setting you cut it off on is where it's gonna stay when you power it back on, right? Because ain't nothing worse than when you hit the
that could be a good or a bad.
And then you gotta you ever had to click till you get back to yeah, you don't gotta worry about that with this. This one got a little advanced memory. It remembers what you like. Okay. So this is mic drop, but I want you to press this one here, vary through, and see how it feels, because this is so good.
No, it's the
for some real good deep.
To me is
when you
that arch that's what I need.
I want you to take it and run it around your circle.
I need to make sure that you can get the angles.
The neck is gonna bend.
I might want to turn over.
Yes.
You never know.
No, the neck is completely bendable, but it's very strong.
Oh, yeah.
In order to maintain, not breaking or anything like that. So as you kind of play with that, I always tell people, come through the body. You could come down the back, you could come down the sides, you could come down the thighs, you could get a real deep kneading sort of massage like thing going. If you're just doing like a full body massage, say your person had a hard day, or you just want to help them decompress, or relax before something, or they have a regular pain area. That's my hands down favorite massage aid for like that real stuff. But I want you to also put it on the one where there's 3 lights.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh yeah.
Come back.
I think I got ahead of myself.
I see. Okay, press it 3 times from now, and you'll be on the right one.
It's getting crazier.
Okay, there we go. Now put it in the same area right there, and press. Now also place it in between your 2 legs right here on your thigh.
Child, please. What you trying to do on the show?
You can feel it from your thigh. You can feel it on your clit.
Hey, yeah.
Not the dance. Hey. So I always say to people, when you have experienced any touch traumas and you want to get comfortable with touch, you need to vary.
With this.
You have to vary the touch. You have to feel different sensations. You have to see what your body responds positively to and negatively to. But at worst, what I love about these is that even if you don't use it for sexual purposes, you can still make use of them for other purposes. So it never becomes buyer's remorse. It's like, oh, I can't.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. If you feel more comfortable, think of it as that when you make a purchase, and then work your way up to
the other types of touch.
And, because
there's a reason why I'm putting all these things in your hand.
Go a long way.
There's a reason, and I'm gonna tell you later. There's a reason why I'm putting all these things in her hand. She don't know yet.
She trouble.
She gonna find. Okay. I like to leave it like that. It looks a little intimidating. You see it?
It's a Grammy.
My weapon of choice. That's actually my man's weapon of choice. He actually uses it to intimidate me.
Are you really intimidated? I was about to say back.
It depends on what time of month it is, because if it's at that like peak period of sensitivity right before ovulation,
I don't want that.
I'm
Put that
terrified.
away from me.
I'll be like, Daddy, please. But if it's right before the period come, you can do anything you want
Go
to me.
for it. Fuck me out.
Yes. Yes. But I did want to speak about the trauma part of it, because safe touch is a big deal. And like you said, you do a lot to make people feel comfortable with you and to feel safe within their touch. But naturally, those same type of touches can bring emotion out. It doesn't mean that the person wants the massage to stop or wanted to go. Have you ever had a person reach a point where they were having such intense session or feeling that it brought them to like an emotional state?
I won't say emotional to a point where they felt like I was making, because we weren't making love, like,
Right,
you know, like
right.
it wasn't maybe at that point. But I've had plenty of men who just got to a point intimately in a session where they did that. Maybe I could say that I touched them in a way, or I don't want to say that they fell in love in a session, but yeah. Damn near. I mean, you get to a point with certain clients too, because I vet. Like, I have to have conversations with these people. I have to figure out what it is I can even do for you. Like,
right.
you could just coming to me for the whimsy. But most people who are coming to me are looking for something specific and unique. And I think that's what starts. It's just like if you were going out and meeting another person and interacting and developing a relationship or an interaction and connection. So, yeah, some men get in their feelings, but I've never had anyone cry during a session with me.
Okay.
I think if anything, it's just more euphoric.
You know, I've had someone for sure cry while doing massage with them.
That's beautiful.
And it was a somatic sort of response, honestly, because it wasn't like negative tears.
Let me ask you this: were they had untouched for many years? What was the scope?
I got some powerful hands myself. I don't do what you do. I don't go
you
about
might
it
have a
professionally,
key.
but I am I'm a Pisces. Energy transference comes naturally. I'm an
I am too.
empath. I
What's your
take
birthday?
March 8th. What's
March
her?
2nd.
Hey, boo. You know, two fish in a pond.
How you do that?
Okay.
What was you saying?
See, now we making sense. Now it's making sense. Yeah, and so twice I had an emotional response. One is because a client that I worked with some years ago. I don't offer this service anymore, by the way, guys. It was a service that I offered once upon a time. I gotta say this because they gonna hear this and be like, where do we sign up for that? He was an older dude. He was in the military. He experienced an injury, an explosive exploded near him. He had major injuries, had to get surgery, but it left him partially paralyzed, right? Where he could walk, but he couldn't feel the sensation in his legs. So he had his legs still operated and had the muscle memory.
Interesting.
And part of that sometimes impacted his genitals, so he wasn't getting a full erection. He would get like medium hard. You know what I'm saying?
Brooks had that problem.
Okay. And he came to me after 7 years touch deprived. He was married. Throughout the process of his recovery, his wife, you know, couldn't handle it any longer, and eventually his marriage came to an end. He so he was a pretty sad guy. He was a rich sad guy though. You know, because he got a lot of money off of that circumstance,
good,
right?
you know.
He ended up, you know, winning a whole bunch of money from the army and a settlement from the whole situation. But bottom line is, he had income. He really couldn't feel much
get there, and he was manhood.
So what I did in the situation was, well, first of all, making people comfortable comes naturally to me too,
right?
And I dressed a certain way to like help stimulate arousal, to help him kind of get, you know, get himself going or whatever the case is. And I gave him a full body massage, right? Touch or whatever the case is. And literally to the point where, you know, he started to gain an erection while I was doing all of those things. And I was talking him to it, and I was affirming him.
That was what I was going to ask you. Are you talking him through it?
Oh, absolutely. And
That's
I was affirming
key.
him, and I was saying, you're still powerful. You're still strong. It takes a lot to endure that and come back from it. Look at you still standing. Look at you still moving. You know, I was saying all this kind of things. Yeah, so super empowering and super affirming in him. And honestly, just light rub touch past the penis.
Yeah.
And it
doesn't take much. I'm telling you.
He came and cried, like broke completely down. And just started crying. I mean, we talk about grown man boo-hoo. You know the boo-hoos where you be like...
You don't know the barriers physically. That's why I say I take clients that have never... Like, they would never... It's nice to just be laying down in the same room with a naked woman.
With a person,
But for someone to take the time to really find those areas and find those moments where you're of vulnerability and accept you in them, like...
Oh, yeah.
Because that's hard. Like, especially now today in a sexualized environment for hypersexual world we live in, a lot of people cannot handle it.
You know, it's so
very
funny
odd.
because they're hypersexual. They don't realize that their hypersexualization is likely rooted in past trauma, and they haven't done the work to deal with
Bingo.
it. So therefore, it continues to show up in not only their sex lives, but the way that they treat people in their bodies.
That was beautiful.
We're gonna just leave.
That was poetry. But yeah,
right there, you know. But honestly, it was one of those things, and I feel as before I even touched him, we spent a good amount of time, which is eye contact, right, deep breathing, and you know, so I'm and just taking his hand and just kind of helping him like relax. And one of the things that I did that I believe helped him significantly after I searched him, I started off without letting him see me, and where did I put that little satin pouch I had hanging around?
behind you. Hips wise behind you.
Oh, it's behind my ass.
It's okay. It's a lot. It's just, hey, don't try to make it subtle, man. It's there.
Won't be the first time something disappeared back there. You know,
You're so lucky.
I make an 8-inch dick disappear with all his ass, you know?
Bless.
Anyway, it comes in a satin pouch. I like our pouches. We real care about this packaging thing, y'all. We
so
want things to
cute.
be housed nice, right? So this is where you store. This is what our Dark Desires eye mask comes in. And it's like a velvety texture. You see that? It's real soft
I
and
love
sexy.
it.
So I want you to hold it and touch it, though. But I actually masked him. I put the mask on him first. And I started off with just like, respond to my voice. Because I like to play with the senses. We're going to start audio only. So I just kept talking to him and repeat after me. Tell me this. Tell me to repeat after me. Are you a powerful man? I'm a powerful man. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. How powerful? Because until you make me believe you, I'm not taking that mask off. You can't see me. I was depriving him of that. And then I allowed him. I took his hand. I would put it on parts of me, or whatever the case is, and let him touch, right? But more so me guiding the touch. So I didn't allow him to touch my genitals because that was a boundary for me with that, right? But I would run his hand along the net of my fishnets and stuff like that.
Oh,
Baby, we was going to get some touch stem going. And so I feel like the reason why I'm sharing that is because something you said, and even something with that experience that connects, is that people don't realize you said build up. It's supposed to be a gradual experience. So many people want to go straight for the kill. Where are we rushing to?
Slow down. And if people really thought about it, where did the rush, when you think about pleasuring yourself, that quick 30 seconds go by, you like you probably feel spent, probably feel gross.
Yeah.
Probably, but then
sometimes
when you
exhausted.
Oh no, not the fun, not the big one. It's heavy.
These things jumping off the table at me. It's all right. It just wanted to be closer to me.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, but you get to, what was I saying?
Oh no, they want to rush. They get to those outcomes, and you know what I find? It's because we don't prioritize our pleasure and we don't prioritize our wellness. So naturally, the things that we are supposed to be doing to take care of ourselves and feel good are the things that we tend to give the least amount of time and jump over, while we're giving so much of ourselves to everything else that's exhausting us. And I'm one of those people who I'm guilty of that for a while. Not
anymore. Yeah.
I learned to trade my energy and trade my time. And I manage energy and not time. You know? And so even if I look at it, okay, you could be like, oh, we have 2 hours. I ask myself now, how many hours do I have? How much energy is it going to take out of me? Is it going to pour into me?
Wow.
Can we, you know what I'm saying? That's what
and
matters
every
most
client's
to me.
different too. Like what's required of me for this one client Monday might not be the same for Friday. Friday
your
might
prep
not
is
need
gonna
what
look different too.
Absolutely. Yes. Down from energy to look to smells, aesthetic in the room, music.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I feel like, when it comes to touch, and I'll tell you guys this is, we always like to educate, and here's what we're going to throw in our sexologist side a little bit. I toggle between being a hood rat whore and a clinical professional on this platform sometimes. But there are 2 senses that don't ever get talked about that heavily also impact touch. And that is your sensory systems that tap into your vestibular and proprioceptive systems. So your vestibular sense and your proprioceptive sense. Where these 2 collide. One is going to deal with force, right? Measuring force, impact, those types of things, how you feel things. It could be push, pull, whatever.
Tension.
Where the other one is going to deal with a little bit more gravity, time and space, right? Feeling grounded. How can you tell when you jump up? You know how you get that little nervousness until you back on the ground. That part of your system, you know, when you're hanging over something or you feel like you might fall, it's the area that helps you maintain balance, right?
Yeah.
And one of those receptors for that system is actually living in the skin, muscles, and joints. So that's heavily touched. And then the other is in your eardrum, believe it or not, right? So the receptor is in your ear. So that's where sound can play a role. But also this kind of massage will... Exactly. We'll get in there. And the reason why I'm bringing these up, because, you know, outside of this, I'm an autism mom. And I actually didn't learn about these senses, even in my learning or training to become a sexologist, didn't learn about it there. It became something that I became deeply aware of while trying to meet the sensory needs of my special needs child who was sensitive to certain things. But while he is sensitive to sound, he is not to touch. He can handle a lot of touch input. Like he has to, like, if he's hurt, if he's hurt, that means that whatever it was really hard, because he doesn't like respond to hits and things like that as much. So he's less sensitive to touch, and therefore I had to use, believe it or not, things like wands or whatever the case is to kind of decompress him, because the strong vibration is what he needed. And what I learned is everybody's systems have those variations. Some people are a little bit more sensitive to touch. Some people need a lot of input in order to really get sensation out of it. And a lot of people's partners don't know that about them, right? So they don't know how to touch and what pressures to touch with in certain areas. But I want to ask you a question, and the bigger full circle is, when we're talking about making your person feel grounded, making your person feel safe, you cannot do that without being aware of these two systems, because even just hanging your head off of the table while I'm rubbing you is going to change where the blood is rushing. You're going to feel a little bit like you're in the air. Those little small variations can either spark excitement or drive anxiety. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I don't think that people have a lot of awareness around these things. So, you know, that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. We have to learn not just how to touch, and I usually encourage it through pleasure mapping, right? So what I'm curious about is, when you're actually with a client and you're giving this intense experience that can be very sensual, how are you what do you notice about how the body responds that tells you maybe that touch is too hard,
this wasn't it. Try something else.
Are there any tells that you come to start to see that typically help you guide that a little better?
Absolutely. Listening to not just the breathing patterns of people, but the patterns in what they're saying, how they're saying, their pitch. I'm a singer outside of this, so like I listen a lot to breath, voice, all of that stuff is just naturally in me. So, I mean, you have to kind of gain a sense of that while you're putting them into a mindset to get on the table. And then once you've kind of got their guards down that way, then you know where to start, whether it's from the feet. Like I usually start from feet up and then head down. So
you know what's so interesting about that? I'm so happy you said
that.
Go.
I know,
because it's number one thing that anytime when I go to get a massage, I actually demand that, because they never do that.
That's why I say I incorporate standard massage techniques. Yes.
Because when I tell you, first of all, the feet has about 15,000 nerve endings alone live in your feet. Okay, like they're actually more sensitive than your clitoris. They're more sensitive than the So, and even when my man, he be in there and my feet in the air, and then he start rubbing them feet, baby, my vagina be like,
I know you've been there where he eating it out and then he get to sucking on toes.
When I'm telling you, all of it, just like pressure points in my feet, and it gets a different response. But you just said something so key, because I had a somatic massage once, right? Yeah. And she asked me where my pain was, and I had a headache that day, right? I happened to be doing a healing retreat, in fact, that my friends were at. And I feel like as people were decompressing and getting their stuff out, the empath in me was
taking
absorbing it into the room. And we were doing a party on one of the nights where we were just like playing a music game, going around playing music, singing as a group. And the more people were laughing, the more my head started hurting.
Everything up here felt heavy.
I took two pain relievers, everything. Nothing was stopping this headache. And I had to just accept that, like, you know, and this may be a little too spiritual for some, but hey, I'm going there. As a healer, I know I'm a healer. I knew that I was taking their stuff.
You had reached
right?
your max, honestly. If anybody else going to say it, you had probably capped on your max as far as energy, and that's okay.
And that was okay.
It's in the past.
It was
You learned from
perfectly
that,
fine.
but
I honestly, and I'm okay with it, because when you sign up for those types of roles and you know what you're doing, you know what you're taking in. But that's why having the right decompression routine is so important. So I originally wasn't going to get a massage, but because of the way I was feeling, I was talking to the somatic massage therapist that was there, and I said to her, my head is still not hurting, and before these women leave today, I need to get back. So she was about, like, she came over me and she started to rub my feet.
Yep.
And my headache was leaving. Literally. Like, it was almost as if she was pulling that straight out of my body through my soles. And I'm looking up. It was so beautiful. We could see the sky and everything when you were laying in there, because the doors were open and it was a beautiful green outdoor bright sunny day, and I'm just looking up at the sky.
Everything is euphoric.
I start crying. She start crying. We crying. But by the time I left, headache gone.
Blood was pumping differently.
Yes. So I'm curious, can you educate on why you started the feed?
Yeah. So originally I started, shout out to my boy Black. I learned all of this from him. He was working those LS parties, but he had kind of informed me that if you're going to jump into this, get into like learning about, go get your massage license, learn about Reiki, learn about meditation, and figure out how all of those things are incorporated in what you're doing, because it's going to be important. This is more than just laying some fish on a table. Like, you really got to get into, when you touch someone and you're trying to heal them, are you going to pinch a nerve you're not supposed to pinch? Are you going to touch a certain area that might trigger someone to a traumatic event from their childhood and in certain area of their body? So all of that plays in. But I think if in a healer sense, if you understand how to read people, energy, breath, sound, like when I hear people coming in for their session and they're talking to me, I can tell by how they walk in. Okay, I know where I need to start. It's always the feet usually, but if I spend too much time there, do I need to climb on top and do more chest weight? Do I need to,
Yes. And honestly, they tell you that where the pain is tells you a lot about where it is. Like, if your shoulders and your neck are tense, that means, what do they say? You have the weight of the world on your
shoulders.
Heavy is the head that wears the
crown.
Right? We literally put it in there. Trauma stored in the hips.
Spread your soul.
A lot of exactly. So what I love hearing that you are that intentional, and I think that it takes it a little bit beyond just massage therapy.
Absolutely.
And even erotic massage.
Absolutely.
It takes it beyond that, because it becomes almost like a full body spiritual cleanse and release.
And I have to say this too, like, if for anyone who may seek me out afterwards, like, I don't take all clients. Like, I got people reaching out and I want to get a massage. It's like, for the sake of, because I know you, I'll show you what it's about or to talk to you about it. But I have to protect my energy in doing this. I have to. On a personal note, I don't even go around the same people anymore, just because what I'm doing has to be so crystal clear that when I'm touching other people, I can't impact their lives a certain way. You can't, like, I could pass on all the stuff I got going on just from breathing on someone. Like, that's real. Like, this stuff real.
And you know what?
I ain't witchy. It's real. It's
real.
Just about carrying positive, healthy, clear energy and being intentional when you pass it on, when you don't. So that's really what it comes down to.
It's a big deal. And I think that any couple, I always recommend booking a session together.
I love doing couples.
And the reason why is because we become creatures of habit, and we get used to doing certain things a certain way, and we stop exploring different ways to stimulate our people. But also, after a significant trauma or something or life experience can happen, because like giving birth can be traumatic, right? So you could be in a marriage and you're touching your person, and that childbirth literally can change how their body responds to touch after. And you didn't take time to actually reassess how they need to be touched post that experience and how that changed them. Because sometimes that change never comes back, like flips back. It goes forward, it doesn't always flip back. Sometimes it can. But I think what I really am saying as a greater message from this whole conversation that I really want everybody to take away is that you have to be intentional with touch. And I recommend mapping the body mapping at least every quarter. Every season or do it. And then I would say the only other time that you do it outside of like those timed quarters is anytime something significant occurred, right? Like if there's a significant stressor or a significant shift, something like that, because it's going to change how you respond to input. And that's how some of you guys end up doing that when your person touches you, or
Yeah.
you know, don't realize that they're making
Come healed.
You see how them shoulders is going up?
Yeah, like that.
And they getting tight and they getting tense. And
my own sister will tell you, I'm not a hugger. I was never the hugger in the family. I had to figure out what that was. That was my own traumas. But now that I'm past that, I can't wait to hug.
And you said it was attached to childhood
absolutely.
trauma.
But in finding the massage thing, I figured out why I stopped having sex and stopped doing it, because I had to find myself first and then figure out, okay, this is why I'm okay with, I prefer to have control over a room in a situation with a person.
Okay.
This is why I prefer to not have intercourse and go just the line and skate the mile. Like, these are things that feed into a trauma, but also they're healed responses too, because I take control of rooms sexually. There was a time where I wasn't the young lady I am now, and women need to come healed to these rooms and these conversations. You can't just be jumping into this stuff thinking because it sounds risky and fun. Like,
no, you can pass your stuff on to other folks easily, for sure.
Absolutely. But if you want to do it, it's so much fun when there's bliss in open-mindedness. There really is. This stuff is fun, but you got to heal first.
Hands down. I will tell you this, and you never know what traumas impact people differently. And to define it, trauma is simply a deeply distressing or disturbing event. No one has the ability to define what is deeply distressing or disturbing to you. Do not allow people to reduce you or your traumas or your experiences or whatever it is that you happen. Your lens and their lens will never be the same. You have to honor yours, right? But be aware of others, because sometimes we're not also aware of how that unhealed trauma is being passed off to our children, to our partners, to our friends. The friends. First of all, the friends who got to keep hearing you talk about it and not do nothing about it. And you expect them to keep opening their ear and receiving in all of that energy, baby. Come a little bit more healed. And if you're not, I just want you to know,
it's never
when
too
you
late.
get to the other side, when you get to the other side of what that's like, and you've learned to take everything that traumatized you and reprogram it into a positive experience, your life will get so much lighter.
That's a great word that you just used. I'm so glad that you didn't say something fluffy like better.
No,
happy,
lighter. Just not as heavy.
Lord,
we don't always. It doesn't. It's forever a part of your story. It's
that's
forever
what I was
part of your
for
journey.
The longest time was to just be a little happier and a little lighter.
Yeah, because we got, it's enough. Life is heavy enough, especially for women, especially for women
Black
of
women.
color.
Lord, but yes,
we got the trauma jackpot in our community over there. But it's not. I don't think it gets always better, because there are still times where you can have that emotional memory, and you just got to know how to come out of it or deal with it. But what I say lighter because mentally, there are certain things that just the thought of have the ability to drive a PTSD kind of response. Yeah, overstimulate you or whatever. But it does get lighter when you cross onto the other side. And the other part of it is you start to realize that, I always tell people this, your body will teach you your yes and no responses. If you learn to listen to it, it's going to tell you what yes feels. It's going to tell you, like when you know how when you say yes and you don't really want to, and you feel it in your body. And what do we say? I should have listened to myself. I felt it in my
gut.
Exactly. We always attach these things to our body. But the bottom line is you want to reach a point where you can acknowledge, I have had trauma, but I'm no longer traumatized.
And I'm not the trauma.
Oh.
That's the key.
Oh.
Let's get into that. But we'll touch that.
So I want to say, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
Our final segment, and it just takes a few minutes to kind of it's just a chance for you to talk about what you got coming up, plug yourself. It is our Money Making Monday segment. So we want to know how she's out here making money in this business of pleasure and wellness. Okay, because this is pleasure and wellness. So please tell them a little bit about where they can connect with you, one, and how you, I know you have a vetting process. So if you want to talk about that as well, to let people know what to expect if they try to reach out to you to connect and use your services.
Absolutely. So I'm just relocating back to the Northeast side. I was living in Houston for a while, so most of my network and my primary clientele was down there. And I'm trying to get up here because I know that the environment and the scene is different up here. So I'm excited to be back home, but I'm trying to small scale right now because I want to get back to doing the large events. So if y'all are interested in having me come and just talk in settings like this, even if it's personal, you want me to come with small groups, teach you guys how to kind of interact with each other, have open-minded and open conversation. I'm available for things like that. I have an Instagram. It's d.vin.touch, divine touch. And there's links there where you can reach out to me as far as for services and learning more about what it is I can do as far as with couples or individually. But if you really are just more curious, I really want to open up and tap into minds more. I'm free for conversation. I love to talk about it. We can chat. Okay. And then if I decide that we can go forward with something, then we can talk about that. But reach out. Let's talk about what it is I do first, and then we'll find out if this is a lane that you're interested in. Because like I said, it's less of a come healed and more of a come open-minded. Like, don't inquire if you don't feel like it's for you. But I think this is for everyone. I think anyone who enjoys the idea of feeling good should give this a go. So, yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm on a provider site called Trice, which is very legal if you're 18 and up. You can make a profile there and reach out to me, or I'm on FetLife as well. You can reach out to me.
Okay.
Yeah, and just come find me. Let's talk. Let's talk about what you think is nasty, and I'm gonna tell
talk
you.
And see if you got the right Mama talks Dee to get touched.
Ease your mind. All right. Yeah, like loosen up, and we'll chat, and then we'll go from there. Because I would like to take on some independent clients up here, but right now, like I said, my focus is events. Really getting out and teaching people up here about what it is I do first.
Oh, and speaking of events.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of events, our girl Will B, Heart of Soft listeners, Heart of Soft, you know the Nut Navy be over here too.
Ready.
Listen, if you're coming to the Heart of Soft play party that is happening on November 1st, she is going to be there doing what she does.
All night, by the way, so you can catch me before and after. Because I'm staying for I got to see what's what.
You want the
I heard about the full experience. I need the full experience.
Well, listen, but if you see me doing some strange things.
I don't know nothing about nothing, and I might be next to you.
I'm just saying, I'm an exhibitionist. I'm a full on exhibitionist. Okay.
Did you see her? Yeah, I was right there.
I'm gonna be right. Yes, she's gonna.
Yes, so you can catch me Halloween.
Yes,
I'll be in the building.
So listen, I'm gonna tell you guys though, this party is selling out. It is a vetted experience. So if you want to attend the Heart of Soft party, you're gonna have to make sure that you head over, hit that link, get vetted if you're not already a part of our vetted community. Because Tahoe, what was it like? 70 already tickets sold?
We had 81 tickets and a month.
Golly.
81 sold already.
And we haven't even touched October.
What's your max? I'm just curious.
We're going to do maybe 120. We've done more, but
that's fire.
Yeah. That means that it's going to be, and it's such a beautiful space. You're going to love it.
I'm so excited.
Space is beautiful. It's gorgeous. You'll find me in the hot tub.
I'm coming with a protege. I'm trying to actually train up some girls. That's the next. I'm trying to shift gears. I want to be like Big Boss you. Big Boss Kash. Don't sit on the couch and just send the fledgling.
You're here, so you family. Here, so you family. Once you locked in.
Go to thehardorsoftshow.com. Fill out the vetting form if you want to go.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. And y'all know if it got anything to do with our Heart of Soft family, with Tahoe, it's going to be an experience that's safe. We protect the vibe.
So
plenty of monitors in the building to make sure that everybody is comfortable in space at all times. I'm always a monitor. I don't care if I got a penis. I'm gonna say penis on. If I got a dick down this throat. If I got a dick in this mouth, if somebody's making you uncomfortable, come tap me on the shoulder.
As you should. Yeah.
I might keep sucking until you tell me what's going on.
I'm gonna let them know what's up.
I might keep sucking. What happened?
Where they at? It might not be important enough to stop. Don't stop. Just figure out what's wrong first.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we might have to delegate. I'm gonna say, hey, yo, we gotta intrude at 3:00.
Yeah.
Can you take a
just tap me in. Go see about the door. Something about the door.
Yes. And I'll tell you guys, this month Bedroom Kandi is having a Pro Touch free online virtual seminar. So you want to head over to bedroomkandi.com/events. That's where you're gonna always find out what the recent one. Every month, our community leadership council of leaders who are the pros in our business get together to put together an experience for you. They teach you, they help train you, they show you more of the products that could fit into those sort of things and whatnot. So it's completely free to attend. All you have to do is register on Zoom to get the link. So head over there and get that now. And if you are interested in this, we're gonna have some Pro Touch gift sets. So you better head over to the gift set section of the website while you're there.
Pack mine up now. Thank you.
Yes. And I want to just say to you, the reason why I had you touching all of these things is because I think you're an ideal person for our community.
Oh,
And you're doing
kind.
these services and you're using things on them. And my thought is, if people enjoy the things that you use on them, you have the ability to sell them to them if you want. So if you're interested, we can talk later, but we can get you set up with a website. We can get you set up on the back end where if you, let's just say you bust out that oil.
Partnerships.
We
love that.
We like to
Collaboration.
Did I say the fun and fun?
I love
Okay,
this.
did I say the sexy and success?
We like things.
We like to have a good time, but I always tell people that if you can be passionate and purposeful all you want, but either of those without a paycheck doesn't work. I take my passion, I made it my purpose, and now it's my paycheck. And we're going to make sure that we cash in those checks over here. You know, my mama knew what she was doing, cash a check, Johnson. That's my name. So I want to get you set up, because honestly, what I find, and we've had a few other massage therapists that have come to teach our community and our events and stuff. But long story short, I know that one of he used our we have candles, by the way.
Love that.
Massage candles and
yes.
things like that, and they're also edible. And so we also have CBD products that are really good for the decompression.
Wonderful.
And he just used it on a client for like 5 minutes at an expo. And every 5 minutes that he used the candle, somebody was coming to my table to buy the candle he used.
Look at that.
So later on, I was like, bro, I just want you to know how much money you made me and how much could have been yours if you just
sold the products. A girl's girl. That's what we like to, because
okay.
we're gonna get this point.
And it becomes a package deal. Book the service and get your massage set to go.
They ain't gonna have no choice.
Okay, and if you want to take it up to a little bit more eroticism, you saw the power.
We got
of
to talk
these
about
things.
partnering to create a Nuru gel. I really would love to talk to y'all about that. I don't see enough, and the company I order mine from, I don't like them.
Really?
So I want to talk.
Okay.
I'm gonna put out my own.
Well, you have my personal cell, so make sure we get
Boss K.
Yeah, we love a product development conversation.
I love
so
that.
Let's
ready.
talk about it. Okay.
I'm so excited. I got my toys. I'm having some fun with myself tonight. Like,
So, and I gotta give you the
that's gotta come with me too. Yeah.
I gotta get in touch in my bag for you. But this has been another great business of pleasure episode. It is Pro Touch Month. Go get touched with consent.
So much.
I'm gonna say that 3 times because some of y'all don't understand that part.
Sensual.
Get touched with consent. And I'll tell you, all right, I lied. I got one more thing to tell y'all. One more. Because I didn't say this to my people earlier, but I do think it's important for my people with trauma. Here's another pro tip that can be a whole tip. If you don't like the sensation of actual hands on the body and you want to ease into touch, have your partner try putting just non-latex gloves on. Sometimes just the change of the gloves, not feeling like fingertips, can literally make you feel in touch and close to it without actually being uncomfortable with it. I want y'all to be having pleasurable experiences, but if you ever find yourself uncomfortable or any of those types of things, I want you to know that there are people like us out here who you can trust and who you can come to join our community, and you'll get that kind of support. But that is my final hope tip, and I will catch y'all again in another week. Ta-ta.
Ta-da.